Alright. The Enforcer saves us, 100%. We have Judith? No. Basri's Lieutenant, please and thank you. This already has Indestructible, right? So the Wellstrider? Or itself would have been good. Another Basri? That's so good. Basri on the first Basri? I like that. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. We are playing Mardu Winota today. So Winota may be the last broken card in Standard. I'm not sure. We've been looking around, and I think we think that this is the most competitive broken card, I guess, still available to us. Now that Teferi's gone, Wilderness Reclamation, which is the main broken competitive card that I'm referencing here, that's gone as well. So Winota is our last hope for competitive jank. So this is an aggro combo deck. We do have a lot of small one-drop creatures to do nice amounts of chip damage early on, and then Winota is going to come on the field and be able to free cast from your library, which is the combo, floods the field, and that should be game. So, as always, we're taking a look at the deck list in its entirety. What do each individual cards do? What do they stand for? Then we're going to talk about the deck tech, the strategies, the synergies involved within it. How do all of those individual cards come together to form a coherent archetype? How are they all working together, right? Then we're going to look at some gameplay footage from the top 1500 Mythic, so the top 1% in Magic the Gathering Arena. So we have very competitive gameplay for you guys to review today. We'll be reviewing the playlines and interactions within Winota Mardu and the rest of the core set 2021 meta post-ban. No Teferi, no Wilderness Reclamation. So this is a very powerful deck, and I've got to give props to Bruno Becca from the Red Bull Untapped International Qualifier 4. She went 6-1 with this deck. Just an absolute maddening streak of wins for her opponents, I'm sure, getting blasted by Winota over and over again. So go check her out if you can see her, on Twitch, Twitter. Maybe just give it a Google. I'm actually not really sure. This deck list does come from Magic the Gathering Arena Zone. Go check them out as well. They're a great resource for everything Magic the Gathering Arena. With this all out of the way, let's get right into the deck list. We do have a companion, and it is Jegantha the Wellspring. When he is our companion, no card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbols in its mana cost, which is actually pretty cool because this is one of the harder deck building rules to follow for the companions. So it's actually entertaining that it works so well here. And then Jegantha itself is a 5/5 in which we can tap to add one of each mana symbol or a color, and then we're only paying those to cast colored costs. We can't cost anything that's gray or generic with it. So that's Jegantha the Wellspring, our companion, right? Anywho, right into the bread and butter here. We have 4 copies of Selfless Savior. This is a 1/1 in which we can sacrifice it at instant speed anytime, and another target creature we control will gain indestructible until end of turn. 2 copies of Knight of the Ebon Legion, a 1/2 in which we can pay 3 to give it +3/+3 and Death Touch until end of turn. And whenever any player has lost more than 4 life this turn, we're going to put a 1/1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. Onto our 2 drops, a single copy of General's Enforcer. This is a 2/3, and legendary humans you control have indestructible. Very incredibly or powerful in the deck. Oh man, we can pay 4 to exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. And then 4 copies, I believe, of Lazotep Reaver. This is a 1/2, and it enters the battlefield, amass 1, and the zombie is also non-human. Kitesail Freebooter ×2, a 2/1 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, look at the opponent's hands. You get to choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. We exile it as long as Freebooter is, on the battlefield. When it leaves the battlefield, he gets his card back. Raise the alarm ×4, instant speed. Create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Just casting this on your opponent's end step. Wellstrider ×3. This is a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you create a 0/1 white goat, which is nice. And we can sacrifice another creature instant speed, which is just generally helpful to scry 1. Escape cost is 5 plus exiling 4 other cards from the grave, and it's going to escape with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. We have a single copy of Sibiru Talzad Caravaner, a 2/3 with haste. We can pay 1. Another target creature with power 2 or less cannot be blocked this turn, not herself, obviously. And then we can pay 2 plus tapping her to discard your hand until the end of turn. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So ideally, we're paying the first ability and the second ability, and then it can't be blocked, and then we get that to trigger for us. 3 copies of Judith, the Scourge Diva, 2/2, and other creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Judith deals 1 damage to any target. 3 copies of Winota, Joiner of Forces, a 4/4. Whenever another non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Put the rest of the cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. You know, I wouldn't mind boosting this to 5, but I do see the downfall of holding 2 in your opening hand instead of the correct tokens or land. So, you know, it is risky if you don't draw it, but really use those mulligans to your advantage. 4 copies, I believe, yes, of Basri's Lieutenant, a 3/4 with Vigilance and Protection from Multicolored, similar to Stonecoil Serpent, which is, it's underrated in my opinion, Protection from Multicolored. When Basri enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and then whenever Basri, Lieutenant, or another creature with a 1/1 counter on it dies, we get to create a 2/2 Knight with Vigilance, which is pretty powerful. We've got Venerated Loxodon ×4, a 4/4 with Convoke, so we can tap creatures on the battlefield we control to use them as 1 mana, and then the mana is 5, like I mentioned, and when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that convoked it, so you want to be convoking it with as many creatures as possible. These spells are accompanied by 1 Plains, 2 Swamps, 1 Castle... I can't get the sideboard to go away. 1 Castle Embereth, 1 Mountain, 4 Godless Shrines, 2 Temple of Silences, 4 Blood Crypts, 2 Temple of Malices, 4 Sacred Foundries, 2 Savai Triumphs, and 2 Fabled Passages. So the land's pretty expensive here. Sideboard, we've got 2 copies of Fight as 1. Instant speed, choose one or both. Target human you control gets +1/+1 and indestructible, and the same goes for a target non-human you control. Giant Killer ×2. It can, you know, enter the battlefield as a 1-drop. It's a 1/2. We can pay 2 plus tap it to tap another target creature, preferably one our opponent controls, and then chop down instant speed, which is actually the nice part here. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. You know, just the adventure spells have so much value with them. Holding a 1-drop place as well as a 3-drop removal, it's pretty powerful. 2 additional freebooters, we already talked about that. 2 shield breakers. We can pay 1 for battle display, destroy target artifact. The shield breaker itself is a 2/1 2-drop. 2 copies of Lava Coil, also a 2-drop, sorcery speed, 4 damage to target creature. If it dies, exile it. 3 copies of Legion Warboss, Mentor, 2/2, and then at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. If that, that token gains haste until end of turn and attacks each combat, or this combat, if able. General Kudro of Draenith. Other humans you control get +1/+1. When it enters the battlefield, I believe you get to exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. And then that same thing goes when another human enters the battlefield. So whenever a human enters the battlefield, we get to exile it from a graveyard, which is cool. And then we can pay 2 to sacrifice 2 humans to destroy a target creature with power 4 or greater. So a little bit of removal there for us. We're going to try our best to sift through the sideboard guide for you guys to talk about the ins and outs of it and when you should be using what. But before we do, let's kind of break down the general deck guide here. The strategies, the synergies, how do all of these individual cards come together, and what's the idea behind the deck? So if you're not familiar with Winota, Joiner of Forces, she's looking through the top 6 of your cards of your library, and you can play play a human from among them as for every non-human that attacks. So for every non-human that attacks, you basically get to play a human for free. As how it goes. So we're stacking the field really early with non-humans. We play Winota, and then we flood the field with humans. So that's the main objective, is to curve into 4 mana always, right? 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Winota's always our 4-drop, ideally. And then beforehand, we're just playing as many non-humans as possible. So that's basically all we have, really. The only humans we have within our early drops are the General's Enforcer, which isn't that bad because it protects Winota with Indestructible. And then our Freebooter, which, I mean, you can absolutely avoid playing, and even if not, then you're still getting value. Trying to pull up that removal from your opponent's hand that could hit Winota, and now if he pulls new removal, he's going to use that on the Freebooter to get that other removal back, so it's going to just bide you some time, right? With that being said, Selfless Savior, Knight of the Ebon Legion, Raise the Alarm, Lazotep Reaver, these are all non-humans. The Reaver and Raise the Alarm are great because they create 2 non-humans, right? When the Reaver enters the battlefield, as well as Raise the Alarm. The one downside to this is The creatures don't enter at instant speed, so you have to play them on your turn. Your opponent's got the ability to remove them, whereas Raise the Alarm is instant speed. You can cast this on your opponent's end step, and then he's not really dealing with them as easily, right? So Raise the Alarm better, but the Reaver is just as good, and I like to use the Reaver first to pull out the removal, and then I, go in with the more valuable card later on. Judith is just amazing with the +1/+1 because you're flooding the field with attackers, and then when anything dies through the blocking interactions, it's going to deal additional chip damage, which is really, really cool. Basri's Lieutenant, again, can put the +1/+1 on something, ideally Judith in my opinion, and then bring things back. You're flooding the field with these low-cost cards and like the 2-for ones, which is really cool, which makes Venerated Loxodon really, really easy to get to. So we're winning games sometimes without even pulling our Winota, just due to the power of the Loxodon and the Lieutenant. Going wide, playing the Loxodon with Convoke, everybody goes up. Now you play the Lieutenant, everybody has +1/+1 counters on it. You put Basri's counter on the Loxodon, right? So now you've got a full field that comes back as 2/2s, which is pretty cool. So even if he deals with you, you're immediately back on the attack with what should be lethal. Again, we can do these little weird interactions like the Enforcer, exiling another card from a graveyard for 4. This is really situational, basically just gets rid of an Earl, stuff like this. That's really, really troublesome. Your main objective is not to do that. You should not be playing this ability really unless the match goes horribly wrong, and then even then, only do it if it really is good for you. You want to be winning these games on turn 4, turn 5 at the latest. Just going as wide as you can, playing Winota, going even wider, or going as wide as you can, Loxodon, and now you just do enough damage to kill your opponent. So that's like the general idea. As far as like in-depth interactions, we kind of talked about the Raise the Alarm over the Reaver being more important. Selfless Savior, we can sack to give something indestructible. If he's going to remove Winota as soon as it hits the field, the Savior on field is really cool to give Winota indestructible and protect it from the removal. So that's absolutely amazing because we don't always have the Enforcer to give the legendary humans indestructible, which are Winota, Judith, the Caravaner, right? So there's a couple of them that it really helps out. So it's really nice to have the Savior on the field to be able to protect Winota when you play it, even if you lose one of your non-human attackers to pull a human from the deck with the top 6 look that we do. We can potentially, discard our hand and tap the Caravaner to look for Winota, but we have to make sure that we're dealing combat damage. You can always deal combat damage for 3 plus tapping her, but again, this is kind of a weird play and a little bit of a desperate play. It is what it is. If you don't win the game, go for it. It should be a little bit of extra juice for you to get there, but don't be trying to do this unless it's like a last-ditch, scenario where it's like, well, maybe this will work, right? Let these things die so Judith gets that chip damage, especially if they have tokens on them and come back because, that's just great. Now you get new attackers like we talked about. I think that's generally it. Whenever anything targets a creature you control that has adventure, so if he tries to Brazen Borrow, Petty Theft something, or he tries to Bone Crush Giant something on you, immediately use your Woe Strider to sacrifice what he's targeting, and then his creature will go directly into the grave. He won't go into exile for him to play from adventure. So it's a really nice way to make the most out of your cards because they're going to die anyways or whatever. So make sure that he's not getting that creature on the back end and limit as much value you can on that end as far as, replayable removal goes or just replayable cards like the Adventures. Brazen Borrower and the Bone Crusher Giant come to the front of my mind there. We've got the Embereth, so you can buff up your attackers when we're flooding the field. That's very powerful, right? The Triumph can cycle, which could be helpful as well if you don't have the right cards. So that's the general deck guide and the strategy. Jegantha just comes out as a big body. Nothing special there. If your opponent does have lots of removal, you may want to look at sideboarding and fight as 1. Instant speed, indestructible, right? So this will protect your Winota and a non-human that's going to be attacking to trigger your Winota. So fight as 1 has very high value if your opponent's running removal. If he's running, big baddies like Rotting Regisaur, Giant Killer is your go-to just to deal with that. And if you don't have to use it, you still get the 1-drop that you can use to convoke for said Loxodon, right? The Freebooter, if it's a control deck and you just want to take all their instances of sorceries out of their hand, you know, like enchantments and stuff as well, just non-creature cards. The Shieldbreaker, if he is running lots of artifacts, just destroy those and that should help you out. Embercleave comes to mind, but this is sorcery speed, so be aware of that. Lava Coil, again, any big creatures that you need to deal with. Spawn of Mayhem, Questing Beast, Legion of Warboss. If there's no removal, then you can just go really wide with him, which is quite nice. And get some extra damage in there. It syncs really well with Judith's +1 abilities, because all of the 1/1s you make will be 2/1s, which is pretty cool, and then they get mentored up as well. In general, Crudo, if there is Uros and stuff, anything that you want to be exiling from the graveyard, it's really cool to be able to play a human and just exile a card from the graveyard. So when you are sideboarding, to do a in-depth sideboard guide for each meta matchup is a lot and would take, you know, a whole video in on its own. So try to remember some basic principles and guidelines and rules that you make for yourself while sideboarding. What was good in my deck? What was bad in my deck? What would be good from my sideboard? What's still bad in my sideboard, right? So, you know, we talked about the Freebooter not being good in creature-based decks. So the Lava Coil is good in creature-based decks. So you see how we make that distinguishment? Or that distinguishment there. So put the Freebooter out, potentially, and then the Lava Coil comes in. Maybe there's no removal, so we're not worried necessarily so much about the Selfless Savior or the Basri, so we could potentially sideboard in Legion Warbosses instead of Basri if there's no removal. And now we're lightening our mana curve and going wider earlier. So that's a potential play there as well. If he has artifacts that are messing with you, you know, you take the Shieldbreaker. If he's got removal, you take Fight as 1. If he's got big baddies, the Giant Killer, the Lava Coil, like we talked about, Uros, the Warboss, or the general Crudo here, and then if no removal, the Warboss. So try to determine what was good in your matchup, what was bad in your matchup, and then fix your deck accordingly. So that's kind of the best basis I can give for the sideboard, right? With that out of the way, if this is a little expensive for your taste, this has got a lot of rares and a lot of mythics within it, I really recommend that you guys check out our YouTube channel. We have a complete free-to-play budget beginner playlist for you guys, being updated every single day with new free-to-play decks for you guys that are very good. Like, we are rocking games in Mythic and in Diamond with them. We've got general beginner guides just to teach you about things, and then we've got, you know, top-ranked standard decks, historic, brawl, just tools and tips. So lots of general shenanigans. Go to the page, hit the subscribe button, join and support if you feel so charitable. And yeah, we're just putting out 2 videos every single day for you guys. We're live on YouTube every morning with said video at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. Then we're on Twitch at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard, an hour later, with 3 to 8 hours of live content engaging with you guys as well on Twitch. And then at 6 p.m., we're back again on YouTube live with another premiere of the latest content for you guys. So lots going on. We have full content days for you, full days of content for you. I cannot complete sentences today. This has been a laugh, I'm sure. Regardless, I'm not doing a reshoot, so let's just deal with it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay footage that we have for you today. We're in top 1500 Mythic. Just pulling the lottery wheel that is Winota, Joiner of Forces. I really actually like this deck now, and it feels almost a lot safer to play without Teferi and Wilderness Wreck. So let me know if you like the deck, your opinions, how you make out with it in the comments below. Links for everything is in the description. We've got our 10,000 subscriber threshold triggering for our 500,000 gem giveaway. So be sure to subscribe and join the Discord for more information on that. Share it to your friends, yada, yada, yada. You've heard me ramble long enough. Please enjoy Winota's Mardu human and non-human mixture by Bruno Becca, who was able to compete very successfully within the Red Bull tournament. Congratulations on her on the 6-1 finish. Woof, right? So enjoy the gameplay footage, enjoy the deck, and we will see you later today. Take care. Opponent goes first. No Winota. It's pretty high end. Toss it, we get it, and we have our Enforcer too. Interesting. We also have non-humans to be attacking. So let's toss the human. Mono green is terrifying. We just need to ramp to 4. That's our main goal here. If we can hit our land, that's going to be ideal. The Reaver can amass, which is great because this is also non-human, so we can chump block potentially with that. And then have this one make a new one. Freebooter is human, but it could be pretty ideal to get into his hand. No, just more creatures. Okay. Let's get another non-human out. We chump block with the amass token, and then we get a new amass token from our other Reaver. And then, well, hopefully we draw land, and then it's that. We might take this 5 damage rather than doing that, right? And just risk it for the biscuit. He doesn't go for it. Wow. And we get the land. I say just go for it. There's no counter spell available, so... And he kills the human. Thinking. Let's take a gander. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Oh, that was actually wrong. We put the token on something. We should put it on Judith. My bad. It should have gone on Judith. Yeah. A little bit of a misplay there. It's our first round with the deck. Right? How many creatures died? One, two. 2 non-token creatures, so we only get 2 damage here, I'm pretty sure. So we send it up top. Now we can just squeeze that General's Enforcer in play and we're going to be set. Could have a Borrower though. That would make me so sad. A Petty Theft on our Winota on the upkeep of our turn would save him. I don't know about save him, but it would be a start. No, he plays through his mana. Let's thin our library. Don't think it much matters. Enforcer is just gonna make Winota indestructible, which is amazing. Let's throw our mass up a little stronger. And that's only 1 non-human though. We're still going to take the draw because it's got indestructible. I don't think we need to take this because it already has indestructible, right? But yes, we do, because if this one dies, then we get to do 1 damage to something, right? So we're keeping the new one, and then the damage can hit an Innkeeper, which is fun. Things can't really die because Judith as well, right? Which is a bummer, which has indestructible. Kills Basri. Kills the token. Loses his Innkeeper. We can kill the beast. Alright. Good game. Let's take it into the sideboard. Yeah, we got Love Strike Beast. Those are 5 strengths. Pretty tough. I don't think the Freebooter did too much for us there. The Giant Killer could work a lot better. Right? We didn't see any artifacts. Fight is 1. Good, but it's not a non-human. We really like the non-human stackability. We don't really need to get rid of his graveyard, I don't think. Like, we didn't see any arrows. But they are there, aren't they? No, I think the Wolf Strider is better than the War Boss when he's got blockers. If we could get our humans indestructible, General's good. And then, well, that could be good, so we're not blocked. We'll sneak it in. One land's not going to do it. 2 Winotas is too cool, almost. This looks better, and we toss a land. Yeah. Interesting. So we're going to take a swamp with the passage. Wolf Strider first because it, you know, will activate Winota. Hopefully there's no sweeper here. That would be just awful. If he had flame sweeps, we'd be learning a quick lesson here in a hurry. That's for sure. Okay, just a giant. That's okay with us. We can top a land here. We're going to be all set. Flame speed, or flame speed. They should call that. Flame sweep is instant speed, is it not? Oh, slow land. That's sad. Let's play further into his wipe, sadly. This would give us the ability to scry a bunch of times. And it's just a borrower. It's okay. That's not that bad. He has to do it before it hits, or else we could sack it and then the borrower would fizzle and he wouldn't get the flyer later. So, is there a quench? You know what I mean? He's leaving up mana, which makes me almost furious. You know what I mean? Was that mana left up on purpose? We can only assume so. I always risk it, and we always walk right into a bear trap, it feels like. He had to have sideboarded against it. Aethergust isn't the worst. He knows it's coming now. I always say he. I'm trying to stop doing that. They know it's coming. Fae to the side. Only 1 mana. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. Alright. The Enforcer saves us, 100%. We have Judith? No. Basri's Lieutenant, please and thank you. This already has Indestructible. Right? To the Woe Strider? Or itself would have been good. Another Basri? That's so good. Basri on the first Basri? I like that. Let's see where this gets us. Sack the goat for the scry. Land can go. And these will just die needlessly as well, so we may as well sack them. We don't have Judith in play, which is a bummer, but... Well... It's not bad. It's not great, though. So the question is, does this Flame Sweep save him? Two damage? I don't think so. I think we were able to play around it with Winota, which is like really, really cool. Love-struck Beast just as a defender. We have Indestructible though because the Enforcer, which is like very, very cool for Winota. I think Winota, or sorry, Judith will just get us this extra damage that we need here. Very nice. And the climb into the top 1500 begins quite easily with Mardu Winota. Alrighty. Hey, there she is. This is kind of weird, but you know, the knight's cool. Getting an early start. Excuse me. USA. So where are the Canadian flags, Wizards? Come on. I almost have 10K. For 10,000 subscribers, Wizards, will you make Canadian sleeves for us? Please? Thank you. Who could say no to that? I think we'll tempo next turn. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man. That's like free. No, we need humans on the top. Just going as wide as we can. I guess the Lockstone would have been just as good, but this is fine. This gets a token on it as well as our knight for when Basri hits. And we needed that land untapped. That was important as well. And then once everything floods the fields, we can Loxodon onto everything. He's taking a turn off. Or they have taken a turn off. I'm going to get good at this one day, I promise. It's a big dig here. Yeah. I'm so sorry, sir. Ramp, right? Just Ugin shenanigans. Bant shenanigans. So we know General is going to be good to shut down Uro. The Freebooter might be good. Could take the Nissa. But it's, we already have two. You know, I think it's a pretty easy transfer. Should we sideboard in artifact destruction? Question mark. We don't really know anything other than he is Bant. I don't think we need to be unblockable. The hand refill could be good, though, if he wipes us. Let's be honest. It's a slow land, too, and we need to be sure to hit it on curve if we have a chance. Let's try to ride off the land draws. Which we can do. Right? Paying life next turn. Embereth the turn after that. Oh, I guess we didn't need to pay life for that. Maybe he thinks we have a shock now. Oh, I wish we did. He played right into it, too. He didn't even think about it. Yeah. It's slow going here. This is not good. That's fine. Takes our night. Two reefs. Nice. Ramping. It's not a good situation. Oh no. So he's ramping and now he's got a sick defender. Makes our 1-1 to a 2-3-3 though. Which can now block the reefs. Then he's gonna casket the other dog. Oh, he caskets the token. That's a good play. A third reef in the top. Oh, whoa. He's got yarn. Okay. But still, he's like top 15 at the most. And he's been flooding. Crazy. It's very good luck. More elementals. Ridiculous. Takes a scry, I'm sure. Or he bounces Cavalier of Dawn. Woof. So we could probably call this quits right here. Not good. Protecting our Jegantha, I guess. I don't know. And then we still get the token off of it. Which is still very bad. Oh, it has to be colored spells? Can't be cast with generic mana. Bummer. Takes our Basri to exile. Bummer. Charming to bounce Cavalier. That's a good game. Still has 50 some cards left. Cry. He's got a good attack. He'll just probably take it, I guess. Let us play off the top. Yeah, we know his deck. You know, just classic elementals. Just exile on our Loxodon. On token. Bounces everything. Just ridiculous. All of the exiles that don't have a thing under it can get bounced for a fresh exile. Right? Ugh. Ugh. Didn't want to bounce more reefs, more elementals? That could have been fun. Could draw on 300 cards. I mean, he's going to exile it, so... I don't know. Oh, look at this value, you guys. This is incredible. I feel assaulted. Yorion enters on our end step again too, to rebalance everything before his turn starts. You better look out, Bill, I'm gonna get ya! $46 still. No risk of milling himself. Just have him have it. Let him have it. I can't even speak today. That's how bad he's beating us up. Woof. Elementals, you say, hey? Isn't that annoying? A lot of elemental creatures and a couple glass caskets. I like to destroy artifacts, I guess. This is a lot to take for a Risen Reef. You know what I mean? Wow. Good luck, right? Good luck. Let's pull the slot machine lever here. Winota, 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 Winota. Triple Winotas come up? Yes. Not in our hand. We don't want 3 copies of... I'm talking about a slot machine here. 1 copy. We go first. 2 lands. If we can get just the luckiest draws ever. Just 2 land off the top. That's not correct. I thought that was a check land. That's my bad. We already deserve to lose. What? What? This guy doesn't like dogs, man. Let's double non-human here. That's cool. That's cool. 1 more land. Oh, I'm gonna take the Scry, sacrifice another creature, or sacrifice any creature. Another creature. Hashtag bummer. I'll steal Winota for 1. I ain't scared. We'll re-enter. Yes, and then we can play dogs too. Does it re-enter? I'm pretty sure it does. Ayo, River! Now it's like, that's not what I wanted. Dog, and then a lovely Loxodon. That's fun. Interesting. Woo! He did not like the destruction of that glass casket. We get really lucky there in game 3. That's what sideboarding is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Lego. Lands good, hands bad. Let's keep it. Just come on, Winota off the top. Along with a land, of course. Let's be serious. Knights. Champion. No defense. Lands? Oh, no. Cry. It is what it is. Let's keep pace. Kind of. We damaged ourselves with land. Stormfish Crusader, I could get behind, right? Help us draw our Winota. Right? Right? Or the lands to play it, both of them. He could have, you know, Bone Crusher Giant or something too, right? Which is classic shock, potentially. We can give with Indestructibles, which is always cool. Haste, that's fun too, right? Like, let's see what he does. Right, he's got some shenanigans. The Caravaner dodges the Bone Crusher Giant, and regardless, we have Selfless Savior on tap. So I'm interested, to say the least. Keeping the Knight to defend the champion. Or we should have done that the other way around. And then, if he played another champion, the Caravaner could have defended. That would have been the ideal playline, I believe. So this is fine with us. Right, he's just going to gain some life is the only thing. Does he block at all? Or does he just take it? I mean, we do lose the non-human, but there's no Winota in our hand, so let's just keep our Caravaner alive. We can defend as long as no removal or another champion. A Reggie. That's ridiculous. The Enforcer can give the Caravan indestructible, though. And then another target creature can't be blocked, which is great. Which is our beloved Knight. And now we have some chip damage. He's going to discard his hand, which, you know, might become beneficial for us at a certain point. Unless he gets flying or trample, like some form of evasion. Menace, potentially. Okay. Speak of the devil, quite literally. There's Spawn of Mayhem. How do we deal with that? One, two, 3, 4, 5, because we need to block. No attacks. We could double block the Reggie, lose our Loxodon, keep the Caravaner. He's discarding here. But we're down to 14 and he does 4 turns. This could get really, really weird. We need a Winota. And then even then we only have 3 non-humans, but still, 4 non-humans actually, the Knight. If we can top deck, this is going to be great. If not, this is going to be a slow slide to chaos. We should have played the land first. I fucked that up. Let's highlight it so he thinks we're gonna do it. We don't want to do it anymore. We'll just take the kill. He discards. We're down to 9. Lethal in 2 turns. The turn after this, really. So we basically need to top deck a Winota if we have any hope. If we pull the Winota after, it doesn't help us. There's no way to gain life here, eh? Cry. He's got lethal regardless. Let's just go for it. I mean, we're not getting it, but I want to see if we can pull it with the discard. How far was it in our deck? Oh, we have to tap it. We should have done that before our attack phase. Idiot! And again, without reach. There's no life gain. Oh, that makes me so sad. Alright, let's just go for it. See how much damage we could have gone through. I'm sure he still has removal. We get close, but it's not happening. He has the 1 damage through the chip, and then he attacks for the remaining 4. We didn't have any reach. Couldn't find our Winota to spam out. So we know he's got Embercleave too. Champions, Embercleave, a lot of 1 strength things here. So he wins game number 1. Let's take it to match number 2 here. The lava coil to take the flyer out. The giant killer for the Reggie. Caravaner was good. Lieutenant should be good, but the flying sucks. The Freebooter would just take the Embercleave, and I'm sure he's got removal. Sorcery speed, which can't get the cleave. Let's just keep everything else under control, and it won't be a problem. We drop a Reaver over Raise the Alarm. Raise the Alarm can be played on his end step, which I think is inherently a little bit better. And I don't know if dropping the Freebooter and leaving his Embercleave was a good idea. Yeah, let's risk it. Let's just pray that we beat him before Embercleave, especially like we're on the play here, so we should be able to get to him before the cleave. There's no scry. That's a lot of land. Let's toss it. We get the removal. This could be better, right? It's gonna be weird. Right, we can block the champion unless he plays 2. Well, of course, I'll sacrifice it. He's gonna stomp on it. He just will stomp it. Okay, the death touch. We were forgetting about this. Let's get it out of the way, though. No one noticed, so it doesn't actually really matter much. Woe Strider can come out. Now we can defend against the champion, unless he does that exact same play on us. And then that Amass can kill the Paragon. We're holding our removal on his big creatures, which should hit here. No black mana for Reggie. The grounds can only be used for night spells. Okay, we're good. Let's go Jegantha, because we don't know that the draw's sure thing would notice, so Raise the Alarm might not even help us at all. I think. I'm pretty sure. Another Paragon. That's pretty cool, but it's alright. Chop down is instant, so we could use that to... Actually, Rankle's only a 3/3. Really? It's an Embercleave for 4. Oh no! He's gonna Embercleave this to 5. That's so sad for us. Nice. So he finds his cleave before we find our Winota. Is what it is. Just absolutely lovely. Alright, so we don't take too much damage, but regardless, just GG's. We can't giant killer it because it's too strong. It's like, it's really weird. And I would almost rather... like... Oh man, we should have took the artifact destruction. Such a bummer. Right, because now he's just going to put it on the Paragon. This is still a match somehow. Let's just pass. Hits us for 8 minimum. Even if we do pull a Winota, it's just not doing anything. Not enough. The chip damage will easily kill us as well. Alright, Knight's making a comeback, that's for sure. No! Man. Actually, we should have waited till he attacked, but still, just the chip damage. Just OP. Good game. Oh, there she is! $1 short and a day late, boys and girls. That's kind of how these combo decks go. It took us to 48, so she was there relatively quick, but our opponent was just so aggro, especially with this cleave, right? That's kind of, I like to hang in there to see if we can get it, right? How bad was the luck, really? And yeah, bad enough. He's wiling out on us. I love it. Could just easily attack with the cleave on the menace, but let's send in the grasp. Regardless, we like to let people finish if we can. Try another round. We're gonna play first here. I guess we could sneak a peek, but that's still just bad hands. Here she is, 2 land. Let's do our best. I guess Loxodon can go here. Just looking for land through the scry. Other Winota can go. He takes the scry, and we all know that's just terrifying, right? Let's get a Reaver out. Then raise the alarm. And our savior next turn, hopefully. If we draw that land, which we will. Ouch. So we're not doing it next turn, so we may as well just go wide a little bit more. As long as there's no sweep here. I'll trade with the Cutthroat, that's fine. Just bounces the token. Bummer. Alright, we're good to play our other Reaver as well then. Which we will because we don't have the land. So same exact scenario. Land? Yeah, it is. Quenches it, okay. That's better than on our Winota. I'll be the first to say that. We do have to be aware of counter magic though now. I'm gonna assume he's educated and knows the Winota's coming. Let's send the giant straight to the grave. So he's gonna spend his mana this on his turn here, hopefully. I mean, we could have cast it raw because he's tapped, but I think we're better off to raise the alarm, right? At the very least, he has to counter that. He is playing counter magic. We're in trouble. Shoot, we should have played it. Just playing all of our stuff, getting a counter spell out of his hand. Yeah, disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself playing Frilled Mystic. Let's get the Wellspring in hand. So maybe he thinks we don't have anything, right? It's like, well, he brought his Wellspring in. That's his next play. We don't care about that. Well, main phase. Wow, dirty dog. Does it let it hit? Question mark? No. Resolve. Do we want it to the top? No. We'll shuffle it in randomly, regardless. Plays his Borrower. Now he's back to counter spells. I mean, you can't wait forever. We tried to pull as many as we can. He's still got 4 in hand. Gross. No attacks here. He's still chipping us down. I think that's game. If he flashes anything in, we're done. Oof. Yeah, it is. Woof, woof, baby. We're just gonna take it on the chinny chin. Could have sacked that so it didn't go to his exile. But regardless, either way, let's take it to game number 2. And we've got a little bit of a hill to climb up now. You know. Temur Flash. Annoying, and I hate it. Lots of creatures here. Right? So those leave. Instant speed wolf kill probably is important. So he can't counter it. The borrowers are annoying. It's gonna do it though. There's not so much we can do here. Playing first. No Winota, but land is good. All he needs is a single counter spell, so woof. We're gonna try to have to make the most out of just like Basri's Lieutenant and stuff, just regular damage. I mean, we could top deck it before he gets to the ability to defend. And we'll play it after our attack phase like we wanted to last time, but didn't. You got no green in play. Let's try to pull counter with Giant Killer. Nothing. End our turn. We could cast that on his turn to try to pull the mana, which was maybe the better play. Yeah, so we can pull the counter here, pay life, that locks it on. There we go. That should help a little bit, I hope. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage potentially next turn. Basri hits, puts the counter on the Loxodon, and we should be set. He doesn't have enough for Furled Mystic. Let's do it before there's Flash Blocker potentially on the Loxy. So he can bounce and the death won't trigger it. Right, I think it's just when it dies, not when it leaves. So we still get a nice hit. We're not cycling, let's just progress. Okay. A little easier on the play. We didn't have Winota. Do we just bail on Winota and then he's holding his counters for nothing? Question mark. So when it enters, Warboss isn't quite as good. Let's roll. Hopefully he doesn't have a hand filled of counters. And we can do our best to sneak around what he does have, I hope. It's not good. I'm hoping we can flex on the Warboss. Mountain here. Ouch. You know, the Reaver has got that enter the battlefield effect, which is good. At least we're getting a 1/1. We can Enforcer plus Legion here. He's gonna kill the Warboss for sure. There's no way this gets to combat. Really? Interesting. That's 3 damage. Just looking for our Winota. He's gonna have to always try to be ready to counter it. Let's get all our land out. And now we attack first. Instant speed flame sweep. Basri first on himself. Good flame sweep. Let's take our attack first. We want to really hold up this 3 mana so we can spend only 2. We played the knight, we could have got the counter, but I'm pretty sure there's a counter spell here. And we're going to leave it there, and he's going to play his wolf, and then we're going to slay it. Reading the play absolutely perfectly. That's a good hit. We're going to sneak the knight in, try to pull a counter. Raise the alarm on his turn for 2, which gives us 2 left. We have lethal next turn. Good game. Alright, Winota, Mardu, pretty tough. Bruno Becca representing at the Red Bull Untapped tournament, 6-1. I'm easily able to play this deck within Mythic, top 1500, which is the top 1% of Magic the Gathering Arena. So if you're looking for a deck to climb through Diamond, through Platinum, no matter what rank you are, check this out. It'll get some work done for you. It's a lot of fun, and it's actually pretty easy to pick up and play. And it's not super prevalent in the meta, so it's not like everybody's running flame sweeps. And if you do have bad luck with it, you can absolutely take this deck in best of 1, and I think you'll even have better luck with it, because now your opponent doesn't have the ability to sideboard in those flame sweeps and that removal, right? So you can really take them by surprise in best of 1 and flex on them that way, right? Do remember that best of 1 has hand smoothing, so don't be scared to mulligan. You are going to get really nice hands always. With that all being said, you guys, thanks for your time and attention. Really appreciate it. We're live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. On 7 a.m. Mountain Standard, we go live onto Twitch for 3 to 8 hours. And then, at 6 p.m., we're back on YouTube live again at all Mountain Standard. Links for everything, description below. 10,000 subs coming up, 500,000 gem giveaway triggering at said point. Join the Discord, sub to the channel so you don't miss out on it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, help the engagement, hashtag algorithm boys. And, hit that bell icon as well so you don't miss out on future shenanigans and this closing propaganda, which I'm sure you enjoy so much. I know I do. Not nearly as I enjoyed today's matches, you guys. This deck is banging. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, big shout out to Bruno Becca and all of you for staying with me this long through my shenanigans and wrap up. Do take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace!